Hello and welcome back to Top 10s You Should Know. Today, we're uncovering something fascinating. Not the grades you get in school, not your job title, not even your IQ score, but the small, personal, everyday habits that quietly reveal true intelligence. These are the things people do without bragging about them, but once you notice them, you realize they reflect a mind that's sharper, wiser, and more capable than most. Let's get started. 1. They ask more questions than they give answers. One of the clearest signs of intelligence is curiosity. Truly smart people don't walk around pretending they know it all. Instead, they ask a lot. They want to know how things work, why people act the way they do, and what lies beneath the surface. You'll notice that in conversations, intelligent individuals often pose deep, thoughtful questions rather than rushing to give answers. And here's the secret: the quality of their questions reveals their depth of thought. While most people settle for surface level understanding, they're digging for root causes and broader perspectives. This makes them incredible learners because they're not afraid to admit when they don't know something. 2. They read between the lines. Smart people don't just listen to what's said, they notice what isn't. They pick up on tone, body language, pauses, contradictions, and hidden motives. This is more than observation, it's pattern recognition. They realize that human communication is layered, and what's on the surface is rarely the whole story. For example, if someone says, "I'm fine," but their eyes avoid contact and their voice trembles, an intelligent person immediately senses the truth. They have the ability to decode emotional subtext while still logically analyzing the situation. This habit makes them empathetic yet cautious. They can sense manipulation, but also offer support when someone is silently struggling. 3. They embrace solitude without feeling lonely. A powerful habit of highly intelligent people is their comfort with being alone. While many fear silence or boredom, smart individuals thrive in solitude because it gives them space to think, process, and create. They don't constantly need external validation, entertainment, or company. Instead, they use solitude to read, reflect, strategize, or simply recharge. This isn't about being antisocial. In fact, they can be excellent in social settings, but they don't depend on others to feel whole. They see solitude as productive time, not wasted time. Studies show that people with higher intelligence often prefer less social interaction because they derive satisfaction from internal stimulation. Their own thoughts are enough to keep them engaged. 4. They are comfortable changing their minds. Most people treat opinions like concrete, refusing to change even when proven wrong. But highly intelligent individuals are the opposite. They're comfortable evolving their perspective because to them, changing your mind is not weakness, it's growth. This flexibility comes from intellectual humility. They don't tie their identity to being right all the time. Instead, they tie it to learning. If new evidence arises, they update their views without shame. That's why you'll often see smart people say, "I used to think differently, but now I see it this way." This adaptability makes them strong in decision making and problem solving because they're not trapped by ego. 5. They notice details. Others miss. Another subtle habit of highly intelligent people is their extraordinary attention to detail. They spot patterns, connections, and small inconsistencies that others completely overlook. For example, they may notice a colleague's subtle mood shift, a missing piece of data in a report, or even the hidden opportunity in what looks like failure. This doesn't mean they obsess over every tiny thing. Rather, their brain is wired to scan widely and pick up signals most people filter out. It's this detail-oriented awareness that allows them to solve problems effectively and innovate in unexpected ways. Because they notice more, they understand more, and this translates into deeper insights. 6. They practice self-control in small things. True intelligence often shows up in how people handle everyday impulses. Smart people exercise discipline, not just in big life decisions, but in the small, daily ones. Whether it's resisting the urge to overspend, controlling their reactions during arguments, or sticking to a habit even when motivation fades, self-control is their quiet strength. This habit signals long-term thinking. They're not slaves to instant gratification because they understand that bigger rewards come later. Research even links self-control with higher intelligence because it requires awareness, foresight, and emotional regulation. Think about it. Anyone can get angry, indulge, or quit when it's hard. But it takes true intelligence to pause, think, and choose wisely. This restraint builds trust, stability, and success over time. 7. They keep an open yet skeptical mind. One of the most practical habits of intelligent people is their ability to balance openness with skepticism. They're willing to hear new ideas, explore different perspectives, and even entertain opposing beliefs. But here's the catch: they don't accept everything blindly. They filter information through logic, evidence, and critical thinking. This balance makes them flexible without being gullible, cautious without being closed off. In a world full of misinformation and emotional manipulation, this habit is incredibly powerful. It protects them from scams, bad investments, and toxic relationships. At the same time, it allows them to keep learning and evolving without being trapped by rigid dogma. 8. They learn from everyone and everything. Highly intelligent people never stop learning. And here's the kicker: they don't just learn from experts or books, they learn from everyone. They'll pick up insights from a child's innocent question, a stranger's story, or even their own failures. This habit comes from humility. They don't assume they're above anyone. Instead, they treat life like a giant classroom where every moment has a lesson hidden inside. This constant learning makes them adaptive, creative, and surprisingly relatable. They gather knowledge like puzzle pieces, slowly connecting them into a bigger picture of wisdom. This mindset also means they rarely waste experiences, no matter how small. 9. They use humor as a thinking tool. One underrated sign of intelligence is humor. Truly smart people use humor not just to entertain, but to think differently. Humor requires quick wit, connecting unrelated ideas, and seeing situations from fresh angles, all hallmarks of sharp intelligence. They often lighten heavy situations with a well-placed joke or break tension with laughter. But beneath it is an ability to process complexity and turn it simple. Humor is creativity at work. Studies even show that people with high intelligence often have a sharper sense of humor because it takes mental speed to play with words, ideas, and timing. But here's the thing: their humor is rarely cruel. It's insightful, clever, and often makes you think. 10. They reflect daily and connect the dots. The final habit that reveals high intelligence is reflection. Smart people don't just live life on fast forward. They pause to look back and learn. Whether it's through journaling, quiet thinking, or deep conversations, they constantly process their experiences and connect the dots. Reflection allows them to extract meaning from mistakes, spot patterns in behavior, and sharpen their future decisions. This is why they often appear wiser than their age, because they've lived life twice: once in the moment and again in reflection. Reflection is not overthinking, it's intentional analysis. It's what allows intelligent people to make fewer repeat mistakes and grow faster than others. And there you have it, the top 10 personal habits that signal high intelligence. These are not flashy or loud habits. They're quiet, consistent, and deeply powerful.